JFH to the New Zealand Warriors in 2025 on a 4-year deal. It's exciting times to be a fan of this team right now, and the future looks bright. Welcome in, guys, to wahsup TV, where I'm giving you my thoughts on JFH signing with us. And please, if you are here for the first time, give us a like and a subscribe for more New Zealand Warriors content here on wahsup TV. Look, let's talk about the news breaking yesterday. Um, what a surprise for all of us. It was well kept hidden and secret. I got a little tip the night before. I couldn't believe that. And once the information came out yesterday afternoon, I was like, whoa, okay, that person that told me didn't know what they were talking about. But I didn't think they didn't mention the name. I didn't think it was a JFH. I thought, it's probably a Leo Thompson, Griffinine. They mentioned it was the replacement for AFB, but I was thinking replacement for AFB. There's no one in that caliber that replaces AFB. Maybe a Nas. What's happening in Melbourne, but a replacement for AFB. We found a replacement for AFB. Um, Look, I think it's really firstly want to just acknowledge the club and what they've been able to do to get this over the line. Sounds like from what Fox have reported and other media outlets, it was done really quickly. That might be your story. I don't know. But whatever happened to get the job done, awesome job by everyone. I just I'll talk about the ramifications of this deal, but yeah, great to have, amazing to have a JFH, and especially coming off of what felt like we were in our last year this year. It felt like this was the year, um, because we knew the power and value that Adam brings, especially to our system and how we play, and just the quality player that he is. There was going to be a considerable drop off last year, no matter which way you cut it up. And it didn't feel as though the club were going to necessarily replace that with the like for like quality. I mean, Hamlin Uele was on the cards, Francis Morlaw, and those. No disrespect to them, but they're not the players that we wanted. With AFB leaving early on his contract, but to get the job done is and for like almost different style. We'll get into that, but like for like replacement, just amazing job by the club. And yeah, I'm going to get into the ramifications of it right now because I think it's really important. I've said, and it's a hot take, but I think this is the greatest signing the Warriors have ever made. And the reasoning for it, I base it on its impact and its messaging that it tells. This it's not just the signing of him individually, but it opens up pathways for other Kiwi players. I think we're getting a player, obviously a three-time premiership winner. We're getting a guy with mountains of experience that knows how to win in tough situations, that has a mentality level of, that or above guys at the club at the moment in terms of what it really takes to have consistency over a long period of time. We're talking 4 or 5 years or even 6 years, possibly building the team and maintaining it. That's the big thing is maintenance of consistency. He's got it in spades because he's learnt it under Cleary and worked with high level players like Leota, Yo, Nathan, and he brings that dog and that alpha with him too. I think that was probably when we saw that signing, it was the alpha coming out that we knew. Whew, we're bringing a top dog. We're bringing an alpha male. We're bringing an alpha dog here, and that makes us feel good because based off our history, when we get like the likes of a Ruben Wiki or a Steve Price or a big naming forward, a strong, hard Kiwi player or a hard man, we respect that. We love that at the Warriors. We love the guys that can graft, the hard players, the toilers that will do the extras and bring that mentality, a Mark Graham type, for lack of a better term, and that's probably a hard call to align him with the Mark Graham, but a similar type. Um, so it brings that kind of to our team, and I think that's in what for me I felt was like this is why it hits so hard. Um, so we're bringing just a great guy and great club, but now the impact of it. There's a lot of people saying online that He's past it. He's on the way down anyway. You guys aren't getting the best version, whatever. I don't believe that. I think we're getting a guy that's still in his prime and bringing a culture and mentality to the club that adds value and adds another layer to being able to do it consistently and ties in well with Webby, having experience with him and knows the system that Webby wants to operate and can add to that and support that. Um, but it's not only that, he's in his prime, he's had the winning experience, but he opens the doorway for other Kiwi players to follow his example. He's almost the first, well, I feel, in maybe recent history, the first to come back in his prime. Well, Tohu's probably one, others, but from outside coming in with major success, like 3-time premiership, and saying, I'm going to leave what I'm comfortable with. I'm going to leave the success that I'm at, and I'm going to go on this journey with the New Zealand Warriors because I believe in what they're doing. Let's see, this is not about just him wanting to come home. I'm sure he's thinking about what the club is doing and how they're tracking and where they're going, that he wants to be part of it. And I'm sure that we've had a bunch of guys in the past that have been all given offers, that could look past the offer and see, no, the foundations aren't right there. I'm not going to waste my time there, even though I might want to go home. That's not for me. I think this is a different time and different place where the club is at, and it's saying a message that we are here now. We are in a good place. We can bring success. We want you to be a part of it. And JFH breaking their contract on compassionate grounds, we'll take it. Although we were a bit upset, obviously, when AFB activated compassionate grounds, but for other Kiwi talents, elite talents, Joseph Tapunes, the Britton Nikordas, the Matthew Timokos, Jerome Hugheses of the world, they can ask themselves now and say, wow, actually, I think the Warriors is a genuine option. I like what they're doing. I might follow in his footsteps. So I think that's, from my view, it's the impact of his signing, not just the signing of him himself, but the impact and value, and statement. It's a statement that was made yesterday. And I love that it was hush, quiet, no one knew about it, and bang. That's how you make a statement. That's how you make a statement right there. And yeah, I'm just blown away by it. What he brings, obviously it's a 4-year deal. I think over time, I know there's shouts for probably him taking over the captaincy from Tohu. I don't think it's going to necessarily go that way. I think Tohu's a great captain, but I think at some point he will take over the captaincy. There's no doubt about that. His style of play will partner well with the Barnett in terms of a hard, nuggety forward that will do all the hard yards. I'm sure AFB is a different ball runner. AFB is just one of those amazing athletes, a once in a generation, similar to Payne Haas, or even different to Payne Haas too. He's a ball player. He's a line runner. He can do a multitude of things. So it's not a like for like replacement. But what JFH brings is just massive mental capacity, massive elite mentality, a work rate and a workhorse like no other. You can see why him and Leota work so well, because the power and the energy on defense that they both had, and what they bring against another forward pack, it scares them. It literally scares them. That's why I think the mind games that he will bring with him, because we've seen it in finals, we've seen it against the Kiwis. He can get into the minds of the opposition pretty quickly, and he can do it quite effectively. I think there's a little bit of that against a Payne Haas. I think there's, you look at the Parramatta game final that they were in. He's done it on the big stage against Kiwis against the Aussies. He's put the fear in the other side, even though they were more talented. He can put the fear in them. You had that with the Mitch Barnett. That's a front line that I just can't wait to see. You add in his experience with Tohu, the Kate that connection a little bit there. Then all the other workhorse types, the CNKs, everything that we've got going on right now in terms of experience is huge. So I just think it's going to be a massive, massive signing. It's a massive, and he'll obviously help the younger ones too. The Zion Mayus, all of those guys to come in and see, wow, this is a guy that's had major success. What can I do to follow him? What's the little things I can learn? off him today. Oh man, shucks, he stayed 2 hours after training. Whoa, how do I do that? Well, man, I might have to do the extra. That's all the little things that I think the guys that will train with him, obviously the top 30 squad and the cup boys, they'll pick up that, Um, but yeah, I just think he just brings a lot of class. He brings a lot of that hard nosed footy, and consistency over a long period of time. Yes, I mean he's going into the later stages of his career, but I don't think it's the back end yet. Um, I think we've got the good years that we've got him for are the good years. Now, yeah, moving forward, I think obviously AFB leaves next year. You're looking at a front line of JFH, Barnett. I think, I think Tohu's got another year in him at least, or even more. I think just Tohu's style, it looks like he's kind of fading. But if you add in a Walker, I think it all kind of balances itself out. I think Tohu probably his minutes will drop if Dylan Walker stays healthy. Marata, no doubt he will be healthy, and he's in the kind of peak years of his prime. Catewell probably got another good year or two in him. Um, Overall, it is an experienced, older type forward pack, but there are young guns coming through, the Mayus, the Ales, the Labans. They are sniffing around, and they're going to be able to support the team moving forward. Um, I think, Fisher Harris's style also suits a pair. I think Barnett is just ties in really well with him. I think those two combined and that kind of how they operate, they will be successful what they're doing. So, but overall, I'm just stoked by the call. I'm excited for it. I can't wait to see it. Let me know what you guys think, in the chat and the comments. We'd love to hear your thoughts. But I think it was a monumental day yesterday. It felt like a turning point in the club. It felt as though the other news outlets and media are they have to acknowledge us now at times. I mean, you saw Paul Kent's comments like, hey, why didn't the integrity unit, this sounds off. They should renege on the deal. I think there's an upheaval, an uproar, silent uproar about what's happening, at the Warriors, and it's breaking the status quo. It's finally moving the tide. It feels like the tide is moving towards us, back in New Zealand, and they're going to have to accept it. I think others are like the Billy Slaters, other guys, the blokes, boys, acknowledge us as a top quality team and organization. I mean, there's still the Sydney-based media still not on our side, but that doesn't matter. We're making moves on the field and off the field. Tells you about the organization, Robbo, what they're doing, the investment they've made into the junior pathways. Now you're looking at the women's. The Warriors is a hub for growth and development and success and the culture that they've built. So it's exciting to see, and be a part of and witness. But I'm just so happy right now, and yeah, I'm just gonna enjoy the signing as much as I can. But yeah, guys, let me know what you think in the comments. Would love to hear your thoughts on it, how you felt at the time, and what does it mean moving forward for the Warriors. But yeah, give us a like and subscribe if you are here for the first time. The wahsup TV for all your New Zealand Warriors content. Up the Wahs.